Hello there, and today on Andre's Christmas vlog video reviews, I'm going to be reviewing a very rare Christmas special that I became acquainted with when I was very young and I only again saw recently. And it's called The Tiny Tree. I really don't know much about the production. All I know is that Buddy Epson is involved playing a badger. It's a very simplistic story. The Tiny Tree was the kind of cartoon you would see on a weekday night, during the middle of Christmas, played among a bunch of other shows, and in the 80s, and I saw it. But this one caught my eye for a couple of reasons. Buddy Epson plays this badger, telling a couple of rabbits, basically, the idea about this story, about this tiny Christmas tree, And basically it starts out that a new girl has moved into the neighborhood who has been in an accident and is in a wheelchair. And they're wondering, all these animals are singing and dancing and playing songs and all of that, and she can't do this. So they're thinking, what can they do for this little girl, right? So, there's this, Roberta Flack does a couple of songs in it, and one of them, it's a very sweet song, but for some reason it always does it in for me. Brings a little tear to my eye, and it's, to love and be loved is a blessing. I forget how the rest of it goes, but it's a very pretty song. And it's actually the theme song to the show. And the idea is that this Christmas tree, this tiny tree, who's pretty content to be where he is, realizes that this little girl in the wheelchair can't get a Christmas tree that year. So he has to sacrifice his home to be her Christmas tree. But he realizes in the end that he'd be a lot happier giving happier to somebody else and making a small sacrifice for himself. And if I understand things with trees, that may actually kind of end his life. But it'll be a happy one because he'll be giving pleasure to somebody else. It's kind of a little circle of life story in a way, kind of like a junior grade Lion King maybe, minus the, pseudo-African mythology. But, it's a cute little story for young children, and one thing about it is it's one of the, actually the only cartoon I've ever seen that really celebrates Groundhog's Day, a holiday that, my father and I in particular have always celebrated, but is neglected by most people. And it starts out with a badger telling about a groundhog predicting the seasons. So it's got a cute Roberta Flack hit song in it, or not hit song, but a theme song in it. It's got that Groundhog Day subplot, and it's a great little story, neglected. You want to check it out. Maybe hard to find, but it's worth it. See you next time.